Hey guys. Emma Marris's book, Rambunctious Garden, is full of perspective-changing text. Through her adventures and academic knowledge, she describes nature in a way that connects you with the rawness of the system and our futile attempts to control it. You see, Chapter 4, Radical Rewilding, is no exception. It discusses a nature reserve experiment in the Netherlands called Oostvaar Aardesplássen. She then discusses the concept of Pleistocene rewilding. Now, there is so much content in this chapter, so I will simplify for this summary. This reserve basically attempts to return nature to a pre-human state. A pristine wilderness, Pleistocene rewilding, is basically a term meaning to bring in animals that are no longer present. However, they existed in that area at a particular point in time before humans drove them to extinction. Or the species brought in fills that same niche. The equivalence is basically saying if you can't get a horse, bring a donkey. Again, this chapter has so much content, but the overarching theme of the author appears to be that of ethics. Just because we can bring back large predators, their benefits to the ecosystem, they were driven out by humans, farmers, etc., because those animals destroyed livestock or farmlands. If we can't guarantee they won't do so again, the community itself might stop us regardless of the benefits. So, my critique. I feel Emma's point of view is yes, and this is where I agree. Yes. Emma talks about ecology not as being about the past versus the present, it's really about natural versus cultivated. We can cultivate the land with whatever we want, but natural processes will remove the undesirable and fill in what's needed. This emphasizes her book's overarching theme of a hands-off approach, instead of these constant and expensive hands-on management plans. So should we? Well, let's talk about the ethics. What drives the urgency of rewilding? There are three major scientific findings. Patterson 2019 shows 1. Dramatic decline of species richness leading to a potential 6 mass extinction event. Scientific finding 2. Large organisms are undergoing a high rate of decline and showing a high risk of an extinction in their data. And finding 3. Increasing evidence that a top-to-bottom ecosystem exists of large animals regulating tropic cascades and altering their ecosystems in unpredictable ways. Or we also have Thulin C 2020. They emphasize action is not only required, but necessary to halt the loss of biodiversity. Passivity is not a valid choice. When you see nature is forever changing, choosing passivity means choosing further losses. They also went on to state that ethically we should accept all the risks providing 10 steps are followed. Starting with description and the situation and the problem formation. Then we look at alternatives, purpose, objects of concern, animal welfare, potential value clashes, chances of success, unforeseen consequences, and choice of method and adaptivity. These two journal articles are only a small handful, but they and several others show that time is running out, and so are our abundant opportunities of choice. I believe Emma's book, Rambunctious Garden, Chapter 4, Radical Rewilding, highlights how quickly nature can change if we simply shift our perspective to help it and stop trying to control it. With this shift in mind, rewilding appeals to be a viable alternative.